Well, I have a bunch of great questions already, so I should probably get working on that. Guess I'll just answer them sort of in the order that I got them, so no particular order from specific people or anything like that. Just as I got them, I made a list. So here we go. I'll just start working down the list. Well, if the answer is 42, then there really is no known answer, or a question rather. The question would be the question of life, the universe, and everything, as 42 would be the answer. The specific question itself, unfortunately, has not been found yet. The closest approximation we have is, and I quote, "What do you get when you multiply 6 by 9?" End quote. Well, I believe in the possibility of paradoxes. I don't subscribe to any belief in multi-world theory or anything that has multiple timelines, where any quantum level event or any decision people make, things like that, would splinter off into a new universe or anything like that, which is basically the only way to avoid many of the more dramatic paradoxes, like going back and killing your own grandfather. The only way you could accomplish that is if it's not actually affecting your own timeline, it's actually affecting some sort of splintered out, added universe or timeline or dimension, or however you want to think about it. Because if there was only one timeline, you of course would not have been born to grow up and go back to kill your own grandfather. So there would be an incompatibility there with reality, so to speak, which is different than a paradox in that it's physically impossible for it to have happened. Some of the less dramatic paradoxes could definitely still happen within a one timeline. The favorite example of mine would be buying a copy of A Christmas Carol and going back in time and giving that copy of A Christmas Carol to the author, and then he would write down word for word what the book has in it, which has his name on it, and then he would publish it as his own work when the proper time came for that book to be published. There's no sort of break in the timeline or in any event that couldn't have happened physically. You still have a book in the library at the right time from the right author, etc., etc. So it's sort of a loop. But we can't say for sure where the original words would have come from in that loop, because it has no beginning and no end. And that would be sort of the truest form of paradox that I can see working, but it's all speculation and weirdness at this point at the quantum level. But physically possible, technically, let's go with maybe. Okay, some of the wording there is a little strange. I guess what you're asking is if I found out that my real mother wasn't my real mother, and that my adopted mother, or my real mother rather, is hot, and my adopted mother, who I thought was real, is also hot. I had to sleep with one of them. Who would I choose? I guess I would let them choose. I wouldn't bring myself in that decision at all. I would say, whatever, I don't care, do what you want. Make up your mind amongst yourselves. I see, as much as it's creepy, I see no sort of moral objection to that, although I wouldn't, because, like I say, it's creepy to me. But, yeah, I don't know. Weird question, and I wouldn't choose. I would just say, work it out amongst yourselves and let me know what you decide. I have the name because of the hat. As a joke, a few years ago, I dressed up as a pimp with the hat and a fur coat and a whole, pimp cane, the whole deal. And the hat was such a good, got such a reaction from people that I just sort of, every now and then, as a joke, I would put it on for some reason. And a really good friend of mine really enjoyed the hat, and I needed to get out of the angry atheist sort of situation where every second message I got was, why aren't you angry? You should be more angry, or why are you so angry? Etc. And I just felt that, hey, why not wear the hat? And the whole atheist in the hat thing may end up with some spoofs of Dr. Seuss kind of things in the future that I'm looking into, but who knows? So yeah, I have the name because of the hat, sort of, but yeah. My girlfriend is just a little bit outside of Philadelphia, and next week she's actually going to be here, so that'll be really awesome. I guess probably losing my sense of taste. As strange a thing as that may be, losing my sense of taste would be my greatest fear, because that would suck. My favorite book would be The Heretic by Jason K. Chapman. I've actually talked about it a little bit in the other account, the Angry Atheist account. So I won't get into it too much, but just a very, very cool book. Probably losing a bet when I was a kid and going out into the backyard naked and peeing on a bush in the middle of the day. That probably would be the weirdest thing that I've done. If I get an invitation and I can make it, I will be there. I guess peacefully, as boring as that sounds. Just peacefully, knowing that I led an okay life kind of deal. I don't know, that's about it. Not terribly exciting. How do I want to live? I want to live, I guess, sort of like I'm living. Just doing my own thing, having fun, meeting lots of people, learning lots of stuff, and just sort of going with the flow. About it. I don't know. I've put a lot of strange things in my mouth, especially as a small child. I have a very acute sense of taste, so I used to just love shoving anything into my face that I could get my hands on. So I have no idea. It's probably something really messed up. I'm sure I've eaten pennies and things like that as a little baby and stuff. I know I've chewed on and sucked on just about anything I could think of, within 2 or 3 feet of the ground when I was a toddler. So I really don't know what the strangest thing would be. If you've got any good ideas, though, let me know, and maybe I'll try it. I would probably ask what all the secrecy and subtlety and vagueness is about, because really, if there is a god or gods, they're not doing a very good job of showing themselves or making it clear what they want. So I would, basically ask for some clarification, maybe a manual that made some sort of sense rather than all the craziness biblical texts that we have now. A little direction would be cool.